Hello everyone and welcome to Fatma Sami's channel. Today's video is for grade 8, semester 1. We're gonna do some exercises on Unit 2, Skills Book. Unit 2, Exercise number 1. Read and find the words. Read Sami's email to Robert, find the words and write them below. An example has been done for you. Let's read the email first. Hi Robert, how are you? I hope you are well. It's getting cooler here and I'm really looking forward to the winter and playing outside more. What is the weather like in England? We're starting a new topic at school all about animals. I studied endangered animals last year and it was very interesting. I learned about lots of extinct animals like dodos and quaggas. They became extinct because they were hunted. But now, I think the main dangers to wildlife are pollution, accidents, and loss of habitat. I think loss of habitat is a very important issue now. There are flamingos and some rare birds living on the beach near my house. But next year, there is a plan to build a hotel there. I wonder what will happen to the birds when they lose their habitat. Are there endangered animals in England? How do you protect them? This time, we are going to learn a little bit about zoos and how they help protect rare species of animals. I think it will be interesting. Have you got a zoo near you in England? There isn't a zoo in Oman, but there is sanctuary for Arabian oryx at Jaddat al-Harasis. If you visit a zoo, please can you send me some leaflets or information? That's all for now. Write back soon. Sami. Now let's read and answer the questions. Number 1. An adjective that means endanger. Endangered. Number 2. An adjective that describes an animal which does not live on the planet anymore. Extinct. Number 3. A verb that means to chase and kill an animal. Hunt. Number 4. A noun that is something which can make the land, air, or water dirty. Pollution. Number 5. An adjective that describes an animal which is difficult to find because there is only a small number left. Rare. Number 6. A verb that means to keep something safe and away from danger. Protect. Exercise number 2. Write some conditional sentences. Write some conditional sentences about animals and the environment. I'll show you one sentence as an example. If there was no sanctuary for Arabian oryx at Jaddat al-Harasis, the Arabian oryx will be extinct. Exercise number 1. Complete the sentences. Look at the food web in Activity 1 on page 12 of your class book. Work together in your group and complete the sentences. Then read the language focus box about clauses and underline the verbs and count the number of clauses in the sentences. Let's complete the sentences first. Let's see the answers. Crocodiles eat snakes. They also eat sharks and gerbils. Number 2. Crocodiles don't eat geckos. Number 3. Snakes and sharks eat geckos. Number 4. Sharks eat geckos and grasshopper, but they don't eat gerbils. Number 5. If we destroy the vegetation, the grasshopper will have nothing to eat. Number 6. If we kill the snakes, the gecko's population will grow. Now, let's read the language focus. Clauses. A clause can be a part of a sentence or a whole sentence. It is a group of words containing a verb. A main clause is the most important clause in a sentence. For example, a caracal eats sharks. This is the main clause. And sharks eat grasshoppers. This is a clause. A first conditional sentence has two clauses. For example, if it rains, this is the if clause, you will get wet. This is the main clause. The if clause describes a possible situation in the future. The main clause describes the result of the if clause. Exercise number 2. Chronological order. When information is organized into a time sequence, it's called chronological order. Copy the timeline into your exercise book and then read and order the events in Raya's report on the timeline. Then decide if Raya's report is in chronological order. Exercise number 3. True or false? Read Raya's report again. Are these sentences true or false? Let's see the answers. Number 1. People thought it was a good idea to bring rabbits to Australia. True. Number 2. After 25 years, the rabbits lived all over Australia. True. Number 3. People stopped using myxomatosis because it was killing plants. False. Number 4. Today, everybody is happy with the new virus. False. Exercise number 1. How happy are they? Listen to the animals and take simple notes. Write the keywords in the positive or negative column. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Number 1 is the oryx. Well, of course, we were extinct in the wild in 1972 because people used to hunt us. So I suppose it is good being here because we are protected and we feel quite safe. I have heard from my friends that the Jaddat Al-Harasis is another great place to stay. So I'm thinking of asking for a transfer. I think I would really like more space to run around. Yes, space with grass and trees and things to find and eat. You know, the food here can get really boring. The same thing day after day. I have lots of friends and relatives here, so it never gets lonely. But it can feel very crowded sometimes. There should be a lot more space. That's it, really. Number 2. Scorpion. You don't need me to say anything. Just look at this place. It's empty. No one is interested in us. The only people who come and see us are small boys who keep tapping on the glass and make us go crazy. Most visitors walk past our cages because we are ugly. We don't have fur or hair like all of those mammals out there. It's the same with the zookeepers. They don't clean our cages very often. The cages are too small and boring. Yes, really boring. A few rocks would be nice, you know. Something to hide under, sleep even. Life is so boring here. Number 3. Panda. Well, it's nice getting food every day. When I was in the wild, it was getting very difficult finding enough food to eat. There isn't much bamboo left in China nowadays. I was often very hungry, but I'm never hungry now. Also, I feel very safe here. I didn't feel safe when I was in the wild. I was always scared because I thought the hunters were going to kill me. I'm easy for hunters to see. I'm big, slow, and black and white. Yes, I'm safe here and I get lots of food, but I really don't like being watched. People like me and they are always looking at me, and I have got no place to hide. Watching. I'm very shy, and I really don't like all of those noisy, staring people. Number 4. Lion. I have to say, I never get wet when it rains because there is an enormous roof over my head, and that's great. There's a really nice place to sleep and rest too. Yes, it is dry and clean and all that, but I never see the sun or the clouds. I really miss the sun and the wind and the feeling of space when there is a sky all around. I get food every day, that's true. Yes, lots of food. But it's horrible, disgusting food because it isn't fresh. I want live meat, not these dead bits of animals that the zookeepers throw in my cage. I want to hunt, to plan the attack with my friends, to chase, to run, to catch my prey, and win my own food. I want to live with other animals and hunt them. I was not made to sit around a cage by myself. It's boring, lonely, and it's unhealthy. Look, my fur is falling out, and my muscles are weak and useless now. Now, check your answers. The positive things for the oryx that he's safe and have a friends. The negatives are food is boring, there is not enough space, and it's crowded. The negative things for the scorpions are there's no visitors, small gauges, boring gauges, dirty gauges, and little boys annoying them. For the panda, the positive things are there is food every day, never hungry, they're not scared, they're safe. The negative things are they're shy and people watching them. Now let's move to the lion. The positive things for the lion, it doesn't get wet, it's clean, they have lots of food. The negative things are there is no sun, food is horrible, they're bored, lonely, and feel unhealthy. Now let's move to language focus. Conjunctions. We use conjunctions to join clauses or sentences. For example, the word because is a conjunction, and it's used to give a reason. Let's see another example. The oryx is happy. He feels safe. When we use because, the sentence will look like this. The oryx is happy because he feels safe. The first part of the sentence is the main clause. The second part is the reason clause. When we join clauses or sentences with because, we don't usually use a comma. Exercise number 2. Look at your notes and write some sentences about the animals. Let's read the example. The oryx is happy because he feels safe. The oryx is unhappy because the food is boring. I'll show you one sentence as an example. The lion is unhappy because the food is horrible. Now, write the rest of the sentences using the information in exercise number 1 to help you. Exercise number 1. Read and label. Read the sentences in the blue box on page 15 of your class book and label the map of the zoo below. The first one has been done for you. Playground. Let's see the rest of the answers. Number 2. Restaurant. Number 3. Aviary. Number 4. Enclosures. Number 5. Amphitheater. Number 6. Children's zoo. Number 7. Cafe. Number 8. Gift shop. Number 9. Ticket office. Now, write but or because in the language focus box. The word because gives a reason for the main clause. The word but gives a contrast to the main clause. We usually use a comma before but. We don't usually use a comma with because. Exercise number 2. But or because. Write but or because so that these sentences make sense. Let's see the answers. Number 1. The enclosures are big because animals need space to exercise. Number 2. There are places to eat and rest because visitors spend all day at the zoo. Number 3. It's wonderful seeing birds, but it's sad they can't fly. Number 4. Tickets are expensive, but the money is used for conservation projects. Number 5. I liked the gift shop, but I didn't like the prices. Number 6. My children liked the playground, but I thought it was dangerous. Exercise number 1. Write and circle. Write the sentences correctly and then circle the group nouns. Let's see the answers. Number 1. A herd of elephants. Number 2. A pack of wolves. Number 3. A pod of dolphins. Number 4. A colony of bats. Number 5. A band of gorillas. Number 6. A pride of lions. Number 7. A troop of kangaroos. Now, let's circle the group nouns. Number 1. A herd. Number 2. A pack. Number 3. A pod. Number 4. A colony. Number 5. A band. Number 6. A pride. Number 7. A troop. Exercise number 2. Write. Use your learning journal from the previous lessons to help you write your first draft. My views on zoos. I'll show you my answer. I think zoos are important because they play a role in saving endangered animals and educating people about them. Zoos can be small for animals unlike their habitats, but they are important to take care of animals and study them before they send them to a safe habitat. Zoos are also important to educate people about animals and how important it is to save them and save their natural habitat. Exercise number 1. Wordplay. Match the questions with the funny answers. These are the questions and these are the answers. Now, let's match. Number 1 matches D. What smells the most in a zoo? Your nose. Number 2 matches A. Why is the letter T the favorite letter of stick insects? Because without it, they would be sick insects. Number 3 matches B. What does a shark eat for dinner? Fish and chips. Number 4 matches C. What do kangaroo have that no other animals has? Baby kangaroos. Exercise number 2. What did Khadija do? Listen to Khadija talking about her day at the zoo and complete the program. Listen carefully. Hi Khadija. Yes, hi Maisa. How are you? Fine. How are you? I'm fine. I went to the zoo yesterday and it was brilliant. Wow. I really want to go there. What did you do? Well, we wanted to go to see Discovering Reptiles, which was at 11:30. But we were too late, so we went and had breakfast at the cafe because we really didn't want to see camels. Then, at 12 o'clock, we went to the amphitheater to see amazing animals. The zookeepers showed us some really amazing animals and told us lots of information about them. What animals did you see? Oh, well, we saw lots of different animals, but the best ones were the eagles, monkeys, and zebras. After that, at 1 o'clock, we went to Bird Lake to see the pelicans being fed. They were so funny. Then, well, we just walked around looking at different animals until it was 1:30 when we rushed off to look at the penguins being fed. Watching the penguins eat their lunch made me feel hungry. And although I really wanted to visit the reptile house to see them feed the snacks, we decided to get a snake instead. I'm not surprised. It must have been exhausting. It was really tiring, but our ice cream gave us energy. At 3:45, we went to the elephant enclosure to see the elephants having a bath. That was unbelievable. We all got very wet. Finally, the last thing we saw was the parrot display at 4:30. And that was the most beautiful show I have ever seen. It sounds fantastic. I hope that I can go one day. You really should. You will have a wonderful day. I've got to go. See you tomorrow. Okay, see you. Bye. Bye. Now, let's see the answers. At 11:30, she went to see the camels and Discovering Reptiles in the children's zoo and reptile house. At 12 o'clock, she went to see the amazing animals at the amphitheater. At 1 o'clock, she went to see feeding the pelican in the bird lake. Then she went to see feeding the penguins at 1:30. In the elephant enclosure, she went to see elephant bath at 3:45. Last, at 4:30, she went to see the spiders in the web in the rainforest's house, and she saw the parrot display in the aviary. Exercise number 3. What does he ask? Look at the interviewer at the bottom of page 16 and 17 of your class book and write the questions he asks. Let's see the answers. Number 1. Why did you decide to be a zookeeper? Number 2. How long have you been a zookeeper? Number 3. What changes have you seen? Number 4. What do you like most about your job? Exercise number 1. What does the zookeeper say? First, read the questions and answers below. Then listen to Ali interviewing the zookeeper for the ITC magazine and tick the box with the right answer. Now, listen carefully to the conversation. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Mr. Gerald. No problem. I like interviews. I used to be a journalist for the Zeus conversation group a few years ago, and I used to interview lots of people. For me, it's always nice to talk about the zoo and my job here. Would you mind telling us why you decided to be a zookeeper? Not at all. I have always liked animals, and when I was very young, 6 I think, my father brought a sick gazelle home. I decided to look after it and feed it and keep it warm until it was well enough to go back to the wild. I decided right back then that I wanted to work with animals. So, how long have you been a zookeeper then? My goodness, I think it must be 35 years now. Yes, I was 25 when I started, and now I'm 60 and still in the same job. That's a long time. What changes have you seen over the 35 years? Oh, so many changes. I don't know where to start. Well, let me see. When I began working as a zookeeper, zoos were very different. They used to be for entertainment, really. You know, come and see all the amazing man-eating tiger and all of that. Now, there are lots of facilities like restaurants and playgrounds, aviaries, children's zoos, and picnic places. And the animals used to be kept in small cages and they used to be made out of cement. In fact, I can't remember any grass or trees being part of a zoo then. Now, the animals live in enclosures which are much bigger, with the trees and grass, and they look more like the animals' natural environment. Has your job changed? Oh, yes, in lots of ways. I used to walk everywhere, but now I have motorbike because the zoos are so big. The way we feed animals has changed too. We used to throw a bucket of food in the cage and walk away. The animals used to forget how to hunt and find food for themselves. Now, we spend a long time thinking about interesting ways to hide the food so that the animals have to hunt and look for it. Just like living in the wild. Zoos like this one are very important in stopping endangered species from becoming extinct. Zoos never used to have such an important conservation role. Wow, things really have changed. One last question for you. What do you like most about your job? Oh, that's easy. I used to like the elephants, but now I really love working in the reptile house. You know, some visitors don't like them because they don't have fur and they think they are ugly. But I think they are the most amazing and fantastic animals in the world. Do you know that we have a centipede that is 30 centimeters long? Really? I would love to have a quick look at that before I go. Thanks for talking to us. It was really interesting. You're welcome anytime. Do you want to come to the reptile house now? Now, let's see the answers. Number 1. Why does he like interviews? He used to interview people himself. Number 2. What were zoos like 35 years ago? They used to entertain people. Number 3. How did he travel around the zoo before? He used to walk. Number 4. How did he feed the animals 35 years ago? He used to throw the food in the cages. Number 5. What did he like most about his job before the reptiles? He used to like elephants. Now, let's read the language focus box. We're gonna learn more about the word used to. Used to describes things that happened regularly in the past but don't happen now. For example, I used to walk to school, but now I go by bus. Used to describes something that was true in the past but is not true now. For example, that shop used to sell bicycles. Used to is followed by the infinitive part of the verb. Exercise number 2. Write some sentences for your portfolio. Look at the words in the boxes and use them to help you write about what used to happen and what happens now. I'll write one sentence as an example. I used to walk everywhere, but now I use motorbike. Exercise number 1. Clap and choose. Work in pairs. Point to a group of 3 words and clap the syllables for one of the words. Your partner should listen and name the word, then change over. This exercise must be done in class. I'll read the words for you. Elephant, mouse, giraffe, strong, endangered, lonely, hippo, crocodile, snake, tiny, enormous, big, excellent, good, all right, clever, expensive, rare. Exercise number 2. Think and write. Look at the adjective and write the comparative for each adjective under the correct rule. Let's see the answers. The adjectives that has one syllable and ends with E, then we will add R to it. Wider, larger, rarer. The adjectives with one syllable, one vowel, and ends with one consonant. Then we will double the consonant and add ER. These adjectives are bigger, hotter, thinner. The adjectives with one vowel and ends with more than one consonant. Then we will add ER. Colder, faster, taller. The adjectives that has 2 syllables and ends with Y, then we take away the Y and add IER. Hungrier, lonelier, noisier. Exercise number 3. Sounds. Listen to the words and underline the A sound. Let's read and underline. Teacher, zookeeper, tiger, crocodile, China, vegetation. Now, read the words again and think about these questions. We already read the words. Let's answer the questions. Number 1. How can you spell the A sound? Number 2. Is the A sound usually a strong stress or a weak stress? A weak stress. Exercise number 1. More comparatives and superlatives. Some ITC members were discussing a visit to the zoo. Read the speech bubbles to find out what they said and underline the comparatives and superlatives. Then, complete the language focus box by writing most, least, than, less, more, and the in the correct spaces. Let's read the speech bubbles. I think monkeys are less exciting than crocodiles. Parrots are more colorful than eagles. I think zebras are the most beautiful animals. What do you think are the least interesting animals? Now, let's read the language focus. Comparatives and superlatives. For adjectives with 3 or more syllables and adjectives ending with ing, more or less plus adjective plus than to form the comparative. The plus least or most plus adjective to form the superlative. Exercise number 2. Write. Use the words provided to write 2 comparative sentences and 2 superlative sentences for each group of words. The first one has been done for you. Horses are more boring than zebras. Zebras are less boring than horses. Horses are the most boring. Zebras are the least boring. Let's see the rest of the answers. Number 2. Dinosaurs are more amazing than frogs. Frogs are less amazing than dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are the most amazing. Frogs are the least amazing. Elephants are more expensive than hippos. Hippos are less expensive than elephants. Hippos are the least expensive. Elephants are the most expensive. Exercise number 1. What did they say? Read the statements below carefully. Then listen to the animals discussing who should leave the zoo and circle true or false. Listen carefully. The lion. I should stay because I am the most important animal in the zoo. I am the king of the jungle and the visitors like to see me. The shrew. But you are expensive. Think of all of the meat. If you leave, the zoo will have a lot more money to spend on the other animals. Me, I cost much less. I'm no trouble to anyone. The croc. But you are the most boring animal at the zoo. People can see you at home and in their gardens. They don't need to visit the zoo to see you. The shrew. That is not true. I am a savvy shrew, and I'm very special because I'm the smallest land mammals in the world. I am very rare. Poisonous animal. You should leave because you are too scary, and you spend all day hiding in the water. You should leave. The croc. Rubbish. I'm one of the oldest species in the world. My relatives were around when there were dinosaurs. The gorilla. Yes, and you were uglier than the dinosaurs. People want to see beautiful animals, not ugly animals. You should leave, and I should stay because I'm cleverer than you. And I'm more beautiful with my long black hair and wide shoulders. We are funny too. People laugh when they see us. The lion. You are funny, but I am more interesting and exciting. Now, let's see the answers. Number 1. The lion should leave because it's the most expensive to keep. True. Number 2. The shrew should stay because it's rare. False. Number 3. The crocodile should leave because it's always underwater. True. Number 4. The crocodile should leave because it's a prehistoric species. True. Number 5. The gorilla should leave because it's clever. False. Exercise number 2. Read and match. Look at the reading cards about Dr. Do-a-lot. Look at the main ideas below and match them to a reading card. Write the number of each card in the box. Let's see the answers. Card number 1. Dr. Do-a-lot leaves to help the monkeys. Card number 2. Introduces the characters. Card number 3. Dr. Do-a-lot learns to talk to the animals. Card number 4. Dr. Do-a-lot and his friends are chased through the lands of Din by soldiers. Number 5. Dr. Do-a-lot and his friends cross the river on a bridge of monkeys. Number 6. Dr. Do-a-lot and his friends are shipwrecked. Number 7. Dr. Do-a-lot receives a this way, that way as a present. Number 8. Dr. Do-a-lot gives medicine to the monkeys. Exercise number 3. Say the tongue twister. Dr. Donald Do-a-lot did a lot in Dundee, didn't he? Exercise number 4. Making a difference. Read Club Talk on page 20 of your class book and then circle true or false. Let's see the answers. A. You can join Greenpeace on the internet. True. B. Greenpeace is a charity. True. C. Life Watch is a part of a London zoo. True. D. Life Watch conserves the environment. False. E. It's free to join the World Wildlife Fund. True. F. The World Wildlife Fund started in 1961. True. G. The RSPB is a charity that protects animals. False. H. People under 18 who like birds can join wildlife explorers. True. I. You must have a boat to join Whale Coast Oman. False. J. Whale Coast Oman develops educational materials. True. We have reached to the end of our video today. Thank you for listening and watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.